Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the March 28th, 2022 legislative session of the Salisbury City Council. At this time, I'll call the meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everyone, and a brief announcement for safety. If during the meeting an emergency should arise, we ask you please to leave the chamber in an orderly manner, make a right-hand turn, go to the end of the hall and down the stairs. If for some reason that exit is blocked, exit the chamber, make a left-hand turn and then a right-hand turn, go down to the end of the hallway and down the stairs. Please do not use the elevators if there is an emergency. If you need assistance, please ask us and we'll be happy to provide it to you. Please now rise and join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call on Pastor Maggie Gillespie of Wycomico Presbyterian Church for the invocation.
Thank you. It is a pleasure and an honor to be here with you tonight. I want to share with you that yesterday at Wycomico Presbyterian Church, we celebrated our 350th anniversary as a worshiping community.
Fantastic.
We are, of course, very thankful for God's faithfulness to us throughout the centuries, but we're also grateful for the freedom of religion that we've had in this land. Because 350 years ago, the Presbyterians were known as dissenters and not necessarily welcome in too many places. But Maryland believed in tolerance. Well before we had a constitution guaranteeing religious freedom, Maryland took the measures to make sure that there was a degree of religious freedom. And the local authorities here in what was then Somerset County gave us permission to gather for worship. And so I am sure that you all join me in being appreciative of the core value of religious freedom in this nation.
Yes.
Please join me in prayer. Holy and infinite God, source of love, mercy, justice, and righteousness, we come here this evening from the busyness and demands of our day to work together for the good of our community. We build on the foundation of those who came before us, decisions that have been made and work that has been done, and we look at matters that are now before us, decisions we have yet to make. We ask for your wisdom, Holy One. We ask for your strength in helping us to become better, wiser, more compassionate servants of your love. We give you thanks for the gifts of this day and all that has been given to us in it, for the gift of life and the abundance that is ours. We give you thanks today for peace, even while we know that wars rage in other lands. Make us instruments of your peace and compassion in the world. We give you thanks for the freedom we enjoy to worship you according to our own conscience, even while we know that other peoples are deprived of such liberty. Guide us to use our freedom well, with humility and generosity for the benefit of all. On this evening, as we are gathered, grant our public servants listening hearts and wisdom to make decisions that will bring the greatest good to this community, to the people they serve. We ask your blessing and guidance through it all. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. We appreciate it. We have a proclamation. Mr. Mayor.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen of the council, Pastor Gillespie, thank you very much for inviting me up to share this proclamation. As you all know, we've been through a difficult time in the last 2 years, and it is now my pleasure to share that the week of April 4th through 10th is National Public Health Week, and the theme is Public Health is Where You Are. Since 1995, the American Public Health Association, through its sponsorship of National Public Health Week, has educated the public, policymakers, and public health professionals about issues important to improving the public's health. And United States life expectancy dropped sustainably since the Great Recession from 2014 to 2017, and in 2018 began to increase again, only then to drop in 2020 by a full year, the largest drop in life expectancy since 1943. There's a significant difference in health status, obesity, poor mental health, and drug use among people living in rural areas compared with those living in urban areas. And this variance increases because rural residents are often more likely to face social determinants that negatively impact health, such as poverty, transportation barriers, and lack of economic opportunity. And a person's health status can differ drastically by zip code due to differences in the built environment, environmental quality, community context, and access to healthy food, education, and health care. Public health professionals assist communities with the prevention of, preparation for, and recovery from a full range of health threats, including disease outbreaks, measles, natural disasters. And the actions of these professionals, along with scientific and technological advances, has played a major role in reducing and in some cases eliminating the spread of infectious diseases, as well as establishing today's disease surveillance and control systems. Each year in the United States, 7 of every 10 deaths are caused by chronic diseases, which occur from preventable risk factors, such as physical inactivity, poor nutrition, tobacco use, and excessive alcohol use. And the first week of April is designated to bring communities together across the United States to recognize the contributions of public health and to learn what can be done to improve the health status of those around us. Now, therefore, I, Jacob Day, Mayor of the City of Salisbury, do hereby proclaim April 4th through 10th as National Public Health Week 2022 in our city. And I invite all citizens to observe this week by helping our families, friends, neighbors, coworkers, and leaders to better understand the value of public health and supporting great opportunities to adopt preventive lifestyle habits. And let me just take the moment to thank all of those who work in public health in our community, both at Title Health, the Wycomico County Public Health Department, state public health systems, and as well as our first responders and medical practitioners. So thank you for your time, and thank you to each one of those servants.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well said. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the legislative agenda.
So move.
Second.
Ms. Jackson and Ms. Blake. Before we take the vote, let me also point out that Mr. Boda is with us by way of Zoom tonight, so we're glad to have him here as well. I call the motion. All those in favor of the legislative agenda as printed, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? And the chair votes aye. The legislative agenda is approved by a vote of 4-0. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So move.
So moved. Second.
Ms. Jackson, Mr. Boda. Good evening, Mrs. Nichols.
Good evening. On the consent agenda tonight, we have the March 7th work session minutes and special meeting minutes. Resolution number 3161, approving the appointment of Vanessa Junkin to the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee for term ending March 2025. And resolution number 3162, approving the appointment of Michael Dyer to the Disability Advisory Committee for term ending March 2025.
Thank you, Mrs. Nichols. I'll call the motion now. All those in favor of the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? The chair votes aye. The consent agenda is approved by a vote of 4-0. At this time, I'd like to thank Vanessa. You, Vanessa? Thank you very much for volunteering. We're glad that you took the time to provide those services. We appreciate it. Is Mike Dyer on the line? I can't see that.
He's not.
He is not. I know Michael for years, and he served on the committee when I was actually the head of that committee, and does a great job at United Needs and Ability. So thank you, Michael, for your service as well. Okay, that concludes all the items on the agenda this evening, And I will now open the floor for public comments. Do we have anyone? Please identify yourself. I don't see any. Okay, seeing none, I'll turn it over to the administration for comments.
Mr. President, if you hadn't invited the administration to make comments, this would have been the shortest meeting on earth.
I'm counting on you being quick.
No, I'll be brief. But yeah, congratulations on a very short meeting. That being said, I did want to tie a few things together today. We were reminded by Pastor Gillespie, not only of our freedom to practice religion, also our other First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly. And I believe that we have, as a community, done a fairly good job enabling that freedom of expression and freedom of speech and the free practice of religion. I'm excited to see some of those demonstrations of community spirit coming this summer. We've got all sorts of fun things planned. And in addition to that, I think it's worth noting that my public health remarks, I want to connect that to something else. There was a note in there, in that proclamation, about the impact of transportation. We are a community that is left wanting for good transportation solutions. And, we have found a number of ways to fill the gaps, but clearly, pedestrian access, cyclist access, and people being safe when they choose to move about without being wrapped by 2,000 pounds of metal is a freedom that each of our citizens should have. And I just want to say thank you, Vanessa, for your willingness to serve. The Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Committee has done an incredible job over the years, an absolutely incredible job over the years, working to increase pedestrian and cyclist safety throughout our city. So keep up the great work. You've been doing it. This is a reappointment. But thank you, and keep it up.
It's actually my first time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was a reappointment.
No.
Am I thinking of your husband?
Mike has been doing well. Mike is on the Parks Committee.
Oh, that's right. He's on Parks and Recreation. Well, thank you. Well, Vanessa is here. Vanessa is a very effective advocate. She is a runner, a leader in our running community, and has been very involved with the Salisbury Running Festival and the marathon. And so that's why I mistook you for an already existing member of the committee. I thought this was a reappointment. I promise I read every detail of these things before I send them to the council.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Boda, on vacation? How are you doing?
Yes. I'm actually about 15 feet away from a cigar shop, Jack, so I was thinking about you. No, we're having a good time. We're up in Atlantic City, and then we're going to drive up New England for a couple days, and we will be back home soon. So just, hey, everybody, I'll have a margarita for you in a little bit. Moderate drinking, Mayor.
Get to the good of the order, Mr. Boda. Thank you. Ms. Blake?
I just want to put out a special thank you to the Salisbury Police Department and the Salisbury Fire Department and Councilwoman April Jackson for coming over to Choices Academy last week to do our Bonanza board game day, which was really fun. The kids really are full of shenanigans, and they like to Scooby-Doo their opponents when they're playing Uno, but I think they got Scooby-Dooed by a few community members, which was really fun. It was really nice for people to take time out and get to know our students and have some dialogue with them and network with them, and they really appreciate it. Actually, they talked about it for 2 or 3 days after the event, which is pretty significant for a bunch of teenagers. So, and as always, if you are healthy enough, please donate blood. We're still in a very critical area, and we're always short supplied, so your donation goes a long way. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Jackson?
Just a brief reminder that tomorrow is Vietnam Veterans Day. So the VFW Post 10159 will be hosting a celebration tomorrow, and our guest speaker will be our very own Major Jacob Day, the mayor of the city of Salisbury. And if there are any veterans that are out there, which I know there are numerous, you are welcome, and you're also welcome to bring your spouses with you. There will be light fare. Just come and enjoy the evening. We will have a lot of things for you. We'll have raffles and games and some other things. But we need to appreciate the ones who protected and will always serve us. I can't say it enough. I didn't think it was so adamant until after my brothers and sisters and my daughter went in, and then seeing the mayor going to Africa and coming back. And it's a journey that I probably, Lord, I'm going to say honestly, wouldn't want to take, I'm telling you. But to serve my country in other ways, I would. But I appreciate everything these veterans have done, and will continue to do to protect and serve us. So if you have that time, please come out. It's from 6 to 9, 821 West Main Street, Salisbury, Maryland. Please come out and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, April. Couple of things. First of all, my son and his wife are coming next week to run in the marathon. That will be his second, so he will see you there. And he's been working out like a maniac, so hopefully he'll do well. Second of all, relative to the health proclamation, I just want to shout out to Operation We Care. In the last 12 weeks, the group, and I participated in two, the mayor participated in one with his daughters, which was really cute. But in the last 10 weeks, they put out 1,200 boxes for Title Health. And we did 125 every week for 10 weeks. And we actually, this past Saturday, was the last one, and the head of nursing was there. And there were a bunch of people that had comments relative to thanking them, and she was in tears. And she said how difficult the past 2 years have been. And they're amazing people, the nurses, what they've been through, and the doctors, and the housekeepers, and everybody that was at the hospital has done a phenomenal job, and they should be blessed. So, and again, I always follow up Angela with, if you can give blood, give it. We're still in short supply.
Mr. President,
Yes.
I just want to draw attention, well, he was up there. Mike Dyer did pop on for a
Oh,
minute,
did he?
but he was having audio issues, it looked like. But he is gone now.
Okay. If you see him pop up, well, we're just about done. Thank everyone for coming tonight. Thank you, Pastor, for a beautiful invocation. And if there's no other business, we are adjourned.
Yeah, you forgot to say about your daughter, Kristen, then you know I'm a...
Oh, yes. I take it back.
Yes, take it back.
My daughter, Kristen, who teaches high school at Pocomoke High School, received the Teacher of the Year award for Worcester County the other day. So I want to put a shout out to her as well. And
It's amazing, Jack. Was that her first Teacher of the Year award?
No, she actually won the Teacher of the Year for Wycomico County in 2014. So she's won the Teacher of the Year in 2 counties. And so now she has to prepare and go all through the state, which is not an easy thing to get up to the state. But
Yeah.
she's looking forward to it. So congratulations to her. Now we are adjourned. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.